What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Aspire to Inspire Live. This is our first episode of 2016. Hope everyone had a great holidays, great New Year. You guys turned up a little bit. We're very excited to have our guest with us this week. It is the one and only Shaun Frank. Say what's up to him, Shaun.
What's going on, guys? Here we are. 2016, we made it.
Dude, we know 2015 was a big year, but 2016 is going to be even bigger, huh?
Yeah, for sure. 2015 was amazing. I mean, yeah, I kind of like did most of like, what's made me me in 2015 with this project. So yeah.
All right, cool. Awesome. Well, I guess first things first, we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the work that went into it all. You released a couple huge tracks, Shades of Grey and Heaven. And you were telling me, that like it's really tough for you to get satisfied with your productions. Like, tell me a little bit about like what you go through, and then how do you like really hammer down at the end to get that finished product, even though it may not be 100% what you want.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I can't think of a track that I've finished where I'm like, yeah, this is like 100% perfect, exactly the way I want it. It's a bit of a curse, like, and I've always had that. I was playing in bands. I've been making music for a long time, and not that I don't love like what I'm doing, but like just to get it absolutely perfect. I don't think I've quite hit that yet. And we were chatting before, and I think like one of my like biggest goals in life is to like hit that level that I want to be at, like make the music that's in my head actually exactly like, come out that way. But I think, that's like the struggle of a lot of artists. It's like, you're always just trying to better yourself. You're always trying to make better music. I really try hard not to put anything out until I've like, absolutely lived with it and like worked on it, as hard as I can and just got it to that point, where I'm like really happy with it, even though it's not perfect.
Nice. And in terms of like being inspired to do it, when you're there, like what's kind of like an inspiration to you? It's kind of like, okay, like you said, like I can't really be like you said, artists are hard on themselves, but you can't be like that hard and you have to just go with it. What inspires you in that way?
I mean, I listen to a lot of music, I listen to, all my favorite artists and like, even old albums that really inspired me. I listen to a lot of weird stuff that my dad brought me up on, like old, like Tom Petty records and like Beatles records and just anything that, inspires me melodically. Usually if I'm stuck, that's what I do. I just go to music and I listen to other people's music and I listen to stuff that I love, and immediately, usually my writer's block goes away and I get inspired, and it's like, oh, I know what to do now. I'll hear something that will inspire, maybe something that I was struggling with in the track, and then get back in the studio and fix it up.
Nice. And like you said, you've been doing music for a long time. It's been a long journey getting to this point. Were there ever any times where the struggle was just getting to be so much and you wanted to throw in the towel and quit?
Yeah, I mean, I played in a band for a few years before I started this Shaun Frank project. It was a band called The Envy, and we got signed to a major label, and I worked on an album for 4 years.
Hey, Shaun, I'm sorry. I just want to interrupt you for a second. I lost your picture. There you go. I think it's back.
Oh.
Yeah, you're back up there. Sorry about that. Go ahead and keep
going. I got full bars. Sorry.
I know. Huh?
Anyways, yeah, I was in this band, and we were signed to a major label, and worked on. I was living in Vancouver, and I was flying back and forth to Toronto to work with the producer in Toronto, and we were signed to Universal. It was like a huge deal, and everyone was telling us we were going to be massive. And then the record never came out, and the label just kept asking for more singles, and they wanted us to sound like this, and then they wanted us to sound like that, and they never released our music. And there was a point there where I was like, fuck, I don't know if I can like do this anymore. Like I've literally put everything into this and all these songs, and no one's ever going to hear them. And that's when I started just like messing around with dance music and messing around with house music. And I was actually singing on other people's dance tracks. And it kind of like was this new inspiration. It was like, wow, there's this entire world of music that I haven't even really discovered yet. And it inspired me. And that's what's kind of brought me to this point now.
Dude, very cool. That's awesome right there. And again, I want to say to the fans, if you have any questions for Shaun, make sure to tweet them with the hashtag ATI Live. We always reserve a few minutes at the end of the show so that we can get your input and, have the fans interact directly with you there. But going back to the rock band there, Shaun, were there any repercussions when you quit the rock band, or was it kind of like the grass was greener on the other side?
I mean, I just didn't look back, from that whole thing, and I didn't want to. I was so excited about all this new music I was discovering. I was always into house music, but I didn't really investigate it that much. I just listened to I went to a bunch of full moon parties in Asia with my band, and we just partied, and I used to listen to Paul Oakenfold and old Tiesto shit, and when I started really digging in and finding a lot of underground artists and guys I hadn't heard of, and really digging deep, I realized that there was just so much here that I really fell in love with, and I just didn't really look back at it. Repercussions, the label let us go, so that was cool. But now I'm making music on my terms. I'm releasing the music when I want to. I'm not strapped to any labels or anything like that. At least not longer than a couple tracks. This deal I was in was suffocating, and now I feel free to do whatever I want. I think that's, as artists and musicians, that's how it has to be. You have to be free to. That's no one got into this so they could be told what to do. So.
Dude, awesome. Yeah, well, that's perfect. I was also going to say, when you were in a band, were there ever any creative struggles that you would have with your bandmates or anything? Or was it more that business side and the record execs and all that sort of stuff that kind of ruined it?
I mean, I love the guys that I was in the band with, and I'm still really close with a lot of them today. And I even still make music with some of them. And I do a lot of writing with them, really talented guys. So no, there was really never any of that stuff. But I will say, it's pretty cool to be a one-man show, and to just go in the studio by myself, make whatever I want, and put out whatever I want. And I get to work with all these guys, all over hell. I've got some really exciting collabs coming up in the new year. I have a Chainsmokers collab coming up, and another one I can't talk about yet. Really exciting stuff, a Steve Aoki collab, and I get to work with all these guys. So it's kind of like being in a band again, because I'm collaborating with my friends, other DJs, other producers.
Dude, sick. That's awesome. Well, like you said, now you are at the point where you're truly doing what you love. And you said that the band, with the band, you were always kind of molding it as something else. Maybe on more personal level, tell me about a time when you were doing something in your life and you just weren't feeling it, and someone told you, no, go do it, and it was just kind of nah, fuck this, I don't think I want to do
it. The band was signed to Gene Simmons. My band that I was in was signed to Gene Simmons, and we worked with him. And I don't even know if I should let this out of the bag, but they wanted us to be on that stupid television show of his. It actually wasn't stupid. It was a pretty entertaining television show, but I didn't think it was that cool. I didn't really want to do it. But they were like, you got to go on this TV show. It's syndicated in all these countries, and there's gonna be all these viewers and blah, blah, blah. So reluctantly, we did an episode of Gene Simmons' Family Jewels, which now everyone that's watching this is going to find it. And it was bullshit, but whatever. It was one of those things that I did, and I didn't feel that good about it. And then when I watched the episode back, I was like, oh, I still don't feel that good about it. But that's the kind of stuff that's not happening anymore with this new project, and with just going out as a solo artist. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that I don't have to go and do stuff like that anymore. Oh, actually, there's something even worse. I shouldn't even have brought that up. Gene Simmons made me go on Fox and Friends, Fox News, which I shouldn't even admit to that, because I think Fox News is poison, the poison of America, of American television, and it's awful. It's more of a comedy station to me than an actual news station. And I actually went on that station and we spoke. I mean, we didn't speak about politics or any of that or any right-wing bullshit, but we talked about his label and music and my band and stuff. But man, I can't believe my one news appearance was on Fox News.
That's amazing. Yeah, no one thought oh yeah, that Shaun Frank would be perfect on Fox and Friends right there.
Oh man, I had to hold my tongue because yeah, it's and back then I didn't know as much. I wasn't as politically driven as I am now. I didn't care as much. But man, if it was today, I would never go on that show, and if I did, it would be with a rant.
Well, like you said, now it's kind of cool that you get to be a one-man act and you do your own thing. music is kind of like a fuck you career. Like, how does it make you feel, like you said, being a solo act, being just the man in charge of everything you do and your brand and everything?
I mean, on the one hand, it's like it's pretty stressful because, like, there's so much that we're taking care of. I mean, I have an amazing team. I work with some awesome people, and they take the load off. But like, it's nothing happens unless I'm like on top of things all the time. So I'm definitely busier than I've ever been. But like I said, creatively, it's like there's absolutely like no direction that I can't go in. And I think you're going to hear that in a lot of the music that I have coming out next year. I'm not veering away from like the straight house stuff, but I'm actually adding a lot of, different kinds of stuff to my new releases. Like I've got a track coming out at 140 BPM, which is something that a lot of people probably wouldn't think that I was going to do. But yeah, I just like writing songs, man, and getting them out. And I'm not really strapped to any genres, and no one's really telling me what to do. So I'm just kind of like left to my own devices in the studio when I'm not touring, which
I'm sorry, can you
music.
repeat that? Right, I did. Yeah, can you repeat that right there, Shaun?
I was just saying that I'm left to my own devices and I get to do whatever I want when I have time. I mean, I'm touring like constantly now, and I have a ton of dates coming up. I'm actually going to India, Hong Kong, Indonesia next week, so that's exciting. First time in Asia.
Well, I was gonna say that is gonna be a crazy experience right there, because that's like a whole other like group and subset of fans. Like you said, now that you've been
Yeah,
traveling a lot more, tell me about some of the experiences you've had with the fans. I know you had like Frank family gatherings on a couple of stops, like San Diego was one. What's that
yeah.
been like?
It's just been crazy. Like, I mean, at first, things were slow and I only had like, one or two tracks out, but now that the tracks have come out and they've like, spread around. Yeah, it's so amazing to like show up somewhere I've never been, like I've never played Seattle. I was in Seattle 3 weeks ago, and like, there's just a bunch of people there that like, they're singing all the words and they're actually like, people are singing along and getting stoked to like some of the more obscure Shaun Frank stuff. And that's what really gets me pumped, because that means that maybe they heard like one of the bigger tunes and then dug into like the other tracks that I've been making. Yeah, like I didn't expect it to happen this fast, that's for sure. And I just finished the Chainsmokers tour, and there was lots of fans and amazing people coming up and like respecting the music and like really showing their support. And yeah, really surprising how fast it's going and growing.
Dude, that's amazing right there. Love it. Well, I guess kind of what's been some of the lessons you've learned on this musical journey that you've been on? And obviously, I know there's still a lot more to learn because you're only getting started. There's a long ways to go.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, like sticking to my guns on a lot of stuff. You know, like I said, I do have a team, and there are a lot of opinions. Even though, like I said, I am kind of doing what I want, there's still a lot of things at play. But there's been a few moments where it's like there's just something that if I want it to be a specific way, and I just really fight to make that happen, and to really just not let anyone get in my way with what I truly believe in musically. And that's been the whole mantra and the whole goal of this project, is just to like make amazing music and get it out as fast as possible. And I've really tried to stick to that, because this whole like make music and then let it sit on a hard drive and wait 6 months and then maybe it comes out because you have some marketing plan and blah blah blah, like it just doesn't work anymore. And I'm stoked to be part of something where we finish a track one day and it's out pretty soon after, as long as there's not another track that we want to get out first.
Very cool. Very cool. And I guess on a more like personal level, what's been the most life-changing thing you've learned, not only about yourself, but about other people also along this musical journey that you've been on?
Definitely not to like believe the hype that you read on the internet about certain artists. I've had the opportunity to hang out now and make tracks with so many different guys, and there's a lot of reputations on the internet. And I'm not going to name any names, but like you read a lot of trolling and you read a lot of bullshit basically about certain artists on the internet, and then you go and you start working with and hanging out with them, and it's like, oh wow, like this guy that everyone thought like couldn't play a musical note to save his life is actually a great producer and a great artist. And I hate that stuff. I hate all that bullshit I'm reading online about different artists, and everyone's got their opinion on, who's being ghostwritten for and who's being this and who's being that. And like, I'm reading this stuff now that I know all these guys, and like 9 times out of 10, everyone's wrong. And I'm meeting these guys and I'm hanging out with them, and they're just really great people. And to be honest, man, most of the people that I'm meeting, DJs that are bigger than me, that I've been able to open for and tour with, and now make music with, they're all such amazing people, and I'm just really, really happy to call them friends now.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Well, that's what I heard. Is the sound okay over there?
Oh, everything sounds great to me.
Okay, cool. It's weird. Yeah, I heard myself in my own ear for a second there, but now it sounds back to normal. And I was just going to say, what would be a kind of one thing that you could spread, a message or something that you could spread to the fans and to others in general, like you said, about the stuff you've learned and how you want to help make the world a little bit better place as well?
Yeah, I think just more positivity. I mean, like we're in an industry, the EDM industry. It seems to be driven by tabloid press these days, and and I get it because that's what gets views and that's what gets people clicking on stuff is who just kind of the negative press. And it'd be dope, to support. If everyone just supports and clicks and reads and learns more about the positive stuff that's going on and the music stuff, the stuff that pertains to like new music and really new exciting collabs and new exciting tours and events, and people get into that stuff more as a community, I think that'll be better for the whole industry. We have a forum in Toronto called the Toronto Rave Community, the TRC. And it's like massive. And yeah, there's some bullshit that goes on there. There's some trolling and some like negative stuff, but there's a lot of positive stuff. And it's just people sharing their experiences about, I went to this festival and did anyone see this? And did anyone hear that amazing edit of this track or this or that? Or has anyone heard the new collab? Or does anyone, it's really, really cool. And it's a huge community. And I'd love to just see more of that around the world and around America. So yeah, that's something that I think could really, change things in a positive light. And I'm talking about the dance music industry.
Of course, yeah. No, that's awesome right there. That's perfect.
Well, or we could just split up that huge Powerball winnings, right? And what does everyone get? $4 million now? Or is that what?
No. I think it's only like 433.
I gotta plug my computer in. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I was like, I don't know who did that math. That's like.
I know that thing was taking over the internet. I'm just like, no, really.
I did the same thing that everyone probably did at first. I was like, wait, what, really? And I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't work.
Exactly, because you see it, yeah, for a second, you're like, oh, the numbers look right. And I'm like, no way, there's like a 0 or something in the same. It's like, damn it. But I guess this will be that time of the show that we open up to the fan questions. And again, for any people out there watching, tweet hashtag ATI Live. And we're going to go through some questions and ask Shaun them from the fans. First, let's see what we got. Hey, Shaun, love your work. Which big person do you wish to work with in the future?
Which big person?
Yeah.
Like physically, like inside?
I mean, that may have been what the person meant. Who knows? But I guess they meant like presence in the scene there. But yeah, like which big person would you like to work with in the future?
Sunburn's got like a foot on me. And DJ Snake's pretty tall too. Chami's very tall. He's a pretty big guy. But no, I know what you mean. Some of the guys that I came up on, like, Porter Robinson, Matt Zoe, Oliver, and not Oliver Heldens, although I'd love to do another track with him, but Oliver. These are some of the guys that really gave me inspiration to get better at my productions and really dig into the musicality of things. So, I mean, any of those guys would be amazing. I love the stuff that Chris Lake did last year. I should hit him up because I'd love to do a track with him. And again, I'm excited about the collabs I have coming out with Chainsmokers, with Aoki. And then there's another one that's pretty exciting too, which I'll be announcing shortly.
Okay, cool. Nice. Going to more like a production question. Shaun, what is your choice of a DAW?
I'm in Ableton, and I use Pro Tools for all the vocal recording that I do. And I do a lot of vocal editing and manipulation in Pro Tools. And then I go back to Ableton to do all my sequencing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Another one. Will you sing in some of your productions in the future? Do you think about it?
Absolutely, that's the plan. I think the next solo Shaun Frank release will be one with my vocals on it for sure.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Another one. What's your best tip for creativity on house music? This fan says, I lose my focus when working on 4/4.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to like not like sit there and hone in on 4 bars or 8 bars. I mean, I do that sometimes where you just like I realize like 4 hours has gone by and I've been working on one loop to try to get something. I mean, your ears just start to like they start to glaze over. Like I said before, I think the best thing you can do is just like stop and go listen to some music, or just take a break, like take an hour, go for a walk, get some sunshine, listen to a couple tunes. Listen to some stuff that's not house 126, 128, 124, whatever it is, and then come back to it. When you're feeling fresh, when you've got some more inspiration, and then just sometimes just scrap it and start over. I do that all the time.
Nice, nice. This is actually kind of an interesting one. How do age groups differ in their response to your songs? This person said, sometimes I see really younger kids who don't get the appeal of a deep drop.
Um, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really. I mean, other than like looking at the analytics on my Facebook, like reach, blah blah blah, like all that stuff. When people, my management sends me like, "Oh, your latest post really worked with 24 to 26-year-olds." I don't know. Like, I think that the younger generation can really like the younger kids. Like I'm talking like 16 to 20. Like they seem to like really dig like hooky vocals and stuff. I don't know how to answer that, man. Like I haven't really thought much about
it. Don't blame me. Just asking what the fans are tweeting. And here's this is a good one here. Who are your favorite up and coming producers?
Love Dr. Fresh. I'm actually doing a track with him right now. We're going on tour together. He's sick. Hunter Siegel from Toronto is my boy, and he's got some really exciting stuff coming out. There's these guys, Van Rip, actually, that I did a track with way back. And they're from Toronto as well, and they played me a bunch of unreleased stuff that's really really cool. And also there's this girl named Rez from Toronto, and we've become friends. And she's like a 20-year-old dark techno, producer DJ, and she's awesome. So really looking forward to her stuff, and all the Delaney Jane solo stuff that's going to be happening in the next year or so. It's exciting stuff.
Dude, yes, that is very exciting stuff. That's awesome there. Well, I guess that's kind of all we really got going for right now. I'll leave it open to you if you got any messages, announcements, or last words for the fans right there, or anything you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to announce about 30 shows, North America, India, Indonesia, Asia, some really exciting stuff. I'm doing the New Order tour with Sunburn and Dr. Fresh. That's coming to probably 10 cities in North America. Really exciting. Like I said before, got some new collabs. Just stay in touch on Twitter, stay in touch on Facebook, and if you want to add me on Snapchat, it's Shaun Frank Snap. I'm always on there, and I'm always down to chat. So make sure you guys stay in touch, and I really appreciate hanging here today for sure.
We appreciate you, Shaun. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to all the new music in 2016. Looking forward to the tours too. I know New Order tour is coming here to LA, so I definitely want to try and check that out. And for all you ATI fans out there, thank you so much for joining us. It was a great response on Twitter and everything, so we truly appreciate that. We're going to be back next month. Our next episode is February 10th. We'll be featuring singer-songwriter Harrison. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, Shaun.
Cool.